2, and 3. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Batman, and we're going to be reacting to a video of New Horizons. He's the Naruto content YouTuber, if you guys don't know. So we're going to be checking him out a little bit more further. We did do another reaction video to him beforehand. We're going to start basically from his older videos all the way to his new ones. Kind of go from there. We'll just basically alternate, we'll be basically doing all kinds of YouTubers. So it'll be him, Thunder God, then you got Six, Swag, Seth, and you have, then you have other people like Naruto Explain, you got NC Hammer, you name it, okay? They're all out there. So, him and the same dealio, we're going to get into it. We're going to see what this is. The title's interesting. Who would have won the CHUNIN exams if it wasn't interrupted? So we're going to check it out. We're going to basically see what he thinks. I'm assuming he's talking about towards when, it gets to the Kazekage, not Kazekage, when it gets to the Konoha Crush, arc and all that and everything. That would make sense, obviously. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to get into it, and let's do it.
If Orochimaru and the Sand Village didn't conspire to destroy the leaf during the CHUNIN exams. Today I'm going to be going over this and how this alternate timeline plays out, specifically how the finals play out. So in this scenario, we're going to say that Orochimaru tells the Sand Village that the third Hokage is just still way too strong to attack, and they need to wait a few more years to attack. And Orochimaru would tell the Sand Village to build up their army a little bit more. And I think that the Sand Village would understand and reluctantly agree. Now I still believe that Orochimaru would send his Sound Village ninja, because he would want to gain trust with the Leaf. And if he just didn't send his ninja, they'd probably start asking questions, and I'm sure they'd all want to go do the CHUNIN exams. And this would include Dosu. However, I don't think that Orochimaru would send Kabuto, because he wouldn't have any reason to send Kabuto unless they were going to attack. Now with that out of the way, we can go ahead and start the arc. So I would think that the written test stays the same, because there's just no reason it would change. And we can move on to the Forest of Death, and that's going to have a few changes. Now obviously Sasuke does not get his curse mark, and would probably not defect later on. Orochimaru also would mess with Naruto's Seal the Nine Tails during their fight.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be there. So this would remove 2 handicaps for our 2.
And that's a big deal. Those are 2 severely big handicaps. Like, it was fucking up Naruto's disruption of his chakra control and everything, and being able to utilize his chakra and stamina. And Sasuke was kind of out of commission for a good bit, and that was kind of fucking him over and causing problems X, Y, and Z. It was a big domino effect. So, and that all didn't get undone until Kakashi kind of did his little ceiling thing, and then Jiraiya basically undid what Orochimaru did to Naruto. So, but that was later on,
Protagonist in the story.
So anybody that's wanting to smoke with them, they're gonna be getting fucked up. If Naruto goes into Kyuubi mode, GG. If Sasuke, has full access to his chakra, everything, Sharingan, same bullshit, So he's gonna be doing what he needs to do. They're gonna be pretty set.
Also, Sakura wouldn't have her character moment where she cuts her hair to protect Sasuke and Naruto. I also don't think that Dosu and his Sound Village wouldn't pursue Sasuke.
Damn. I forgot about that. The fact that Rock Lee pulls a fucking big ass fucking tree root out of the goddamn ground. You know how fucking strong you gotta be to do that shit?
He was yet, most likely. Orochimaru not being there would actually present Team 7 with a problem, believe it or not, because Kabuto helped them get a scroll in the Forest of Death when they were pretty desperate for one to move on. But this time they wouldn't have all that lost time.
Yeah, they're not gonna have all that lost time. They're most definitely gonna be able to get a scroll. If we're really being honest, guys, Orochimaru really made that shit tough for him. You know what I mean? And then Kabuto helped out and etc. So they should be fine.
From battling and recovering from Orochimaru's attack. So I think that with all that time, Sasuke and Naruto are just so strong at this point that they would easily be able to get a scroll to move on to the prelims.
For sure.
And I think the other Leaf Ninja would advance like they did originally. No reason for them to not. And then Gar's team would also advance just like they did in a bloodbath with Gar killing those.
Gar was a beast. That man was a monster.
I think it was Sound Ninja. So this brings us to the preliminaries, and I wouldn't say much changes here either. The only thing that changes is that Sasuke would be able to win his fight much easier
Oh yeah, he'd fuck his ass up, bro.
without the curse mark kind of messing up with his body. And then also, the guy that
This man,
Shino fought
this man said gravity. Just question mark. It's like, Nani? Huh?
wouldn't have had his arms broken by Sasuke. So that would give Shino a slightly tougher fight. Shino would just stuff his bugs into his arms again and explode.
Yeah, if they still fought, Shino would just body his ass. Like, he's a pretty strong guy. Like, he's no joke. I mean, he's pretty elite, using bug substitutions, you name it. Like, he strategizes. He's really good with his bugs. He's a strong opponent.
Easy one for Shino, though. So this leaves us with the fight of the whole show, Sakura versus Ino. And
God
I
tier.
think it had the same outcome with the double knockout. And I kind of thought at first that without Sakura's character moment, she might not fight as hard. But
You could imply that Sakura got a pretty good mental amp during that whole shenanigans and everything, and her pulling that cutting the hair moment, protecting them, and you name it. So, yeah, that could fuck her. You know what I mean? Like, that could actually, like, allow Ino to actually get the W somehow. Unless she has the same moment during that fight, whatever. But I don't know. You guys take it however you want. I don't really see any relevance of that, to be honest. So
this offset because Sasuke would be watching those two fight. And this is because he wouldn't have to have his curse mark restrained by Kakashi. So basically we just have an even more intense catfight. And even though Sasuke has never shown an ounce of interest in either of them and barely acknowledges their existence, they're still going to have a super dramatic fight that took up a whole episode. But they're going to end with a double knockout. Now moving on to the in-between time between...
it's either a double knockout or Ino takes it. That's basically how that would be.
In finals. Not much changes until the finals, so we're about to get there though. And I still think Doso would be killed because watching Gaara fight and watching Sasuke fight would get him all riled up. And so he would go and pursue Gaara again so he could just kill him and then fight Sasuke. But Gaara would probably kill him very easily. Sasuke would train with Kakashi and learn the Chidori. And then Naruto would train with Jiraiya.
Yep.
And he would learn to summon Gamabunta, but I don't think he would use that in the finals because Gamabunta is just way too big for the arena. And even if he tried, I think he would just summon his son because when he originally tried to summon Gamabunta against Gaara, he summoned his son. It's a pretty dopey move. So we're finally at the finals, and this is where the video starts.
The main reason why he summons the frog, and I'm pretty sure I remember this correctly as well, is because he was just using his chakra. You know what I mean? And whenever he's using his chakra, remember, Naruto's not the best when it comes to chakra control. You know what I mean? It's stated multiple times. You know what I mean? To where, yeah, he has a larger chakra pool, yada yada, you name it. But since he's not really that great with chakra control and utilizing it and, and being effective with it, without, wasting stamina and etc., compared to other people that have incredible chakra control or can utilize their chakra so well to where it doesn't, negatively impact their stamina, or to where they're basically able to outperform or better yet perform tremendously better than Naruto. You know what I mean? Like, that's the main reason why he has those type of issues. Now, whenever he uses the Nine Tails chakra, which he does in the Neji fight, okay, he has plenty of chakra to summon them in. Every time, whenever that happens, you know what I mean? So, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, if he uses the Nine Tails chakra just like he did when he first did it with Jiraiya, and also when he does it against Gaara, he's going to be able to summon him no problemo. You know what I mean? So, if he's ever, like, for instance, like, if he was fighting against, I don't know, maybe fucking Sasuke, or maybe, some other person that was to push him, the only other person I'd really think, in my opinion, to really push him to that extent would be like fucking either like Sasuke or Gaara, if I'm being honest with you. And to be honest, I don't see it as a problem of him summoning Gamabunta. Like, deadass, like if let's say he's fighting Sasuke and he's just kind of getting washed up, and then he does, like, let's say he'll do like the fucking the Nine Tails chakra. Sasuke tries to get his Chidori charged up. or whatever. And it's either Naruto doesn't let him, or he's now accustomed to being able to utilize it to where he can just do it right on the go. Because if you guys don't remember, Sasuke had, when he first had Chidori, when he first fights against Gaara, he literally says, all right, yeah, this jutsu's still kind of like not complete. You mean I still needed plenty of time to charge it up and yada yada. This is perfect since he's not moving. And then he charges it up and then he's able to move. So if it's like that same thing, then that's not happening with the QB enhanced Naruto. It's just not happening at all. He's going to get fucked. But, okay, if it's kind of similar to where when he's fighting against Gaara for like round 2, where he's able to just basically pop out Chidori on the go, and use it, then he's going to be fine. There's not going to be any issues, and that's just that. And obviously Chidori does amp speed, and with that being said as well, with the shotting and everything, at this point Naruto doesn't know Rasengan, so he's kind of fucked, you know what I mean? So it's either, you know what I mean, if the QB chakra mode is not enough to combat against Sasuke with his Chidori, and Sasuke's over here beating him up, whatever, or, to the point where Naruto's having to use clones or make sure he doesn't get hit, okay, his only option is Genbunta, you know what I mean? So, and he learned it, for a reason, so, and he's, 9 times out of 10 use it when it's dire circumstances, and to prove his point, to show that he is a very capable ninja, or better yet, it's a Chunin exams, if he were to summon Genbunta, there's no way they ain't promoting this man to be a fucking Chunin. You know what I mean? There's no way. That's a fucking Sannin level feat. You know what I mean? An Hokage level fucking summoning. The 4th Hokage is summoning. Jiraiya is summoning. So I could actually definitely see it being possible for him to summon against Gaara or Sasuke. And, bro, the moment he summons him, it's a GG. You know what I mean? Come on. They have to either concede. And if they don't concede, Genbunta's going to look and be like, are you kidding me? I have to fight this worm? You know what I mean? And then it's going to be to the point where either Genbunta just straight up says, fuck you, I'm not helping you, and leaves, and Naruto gets fucked. Or Genbunta, just straight up just spits or whatever, or that's it, and the guy's fucked, either if it's Sasuke or Gaara. Or better yet, the Hokage or the proctor for the Chunin exam just stops the fight. They're like, yeah, nope, that's enough. You win. That you proved your point. You know what I mean? So that's basically how that's going. But I wouldn't say it would be unreasonable or impossible for Naruto to summon Genbunta. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it'd be really weird for him to not utilize everything in his utility compared to what everyone else can use. When you have fucking Gaara, when you have Sasuke with Chidori, you name it. So I don't know about that.
Actually interesting. So
Meat fair.
Yeah, suck a dick.
As for Naruto versus Neji, it'll go the exact same because there's no reason it would change. So Naruto takes that win. And after this, we have Gaara versus Sasuke. In this fight, Gaara's not going to go into his ball of sand and try to become the One Tails because he's not trying to destroy the leaf necessarily. And I think that Sasuke would do the exact same thing he did at the beginning of the fight and just use his speed to get some cheeky hits on Gaara. However, Gaara's sand armor won't really allow this to do much damage to him. So Sasuke would get some hits off, but they wouldn't yield to any progress and eventually tire himself out a little bit. And so Sasuke would decide that the only way to get through the sand is with his Sharingan. So he's going to do the same thing he did originally. He's going to climb the wall, do the hot hand signs, activate his Sharingan, and then use Chidori. So I think that
I don't know. I don't even think it gets that far because remember, at that point, he's not fully ready to utilize Chidori yet. You know what I mean? He can use it, but he literally states it himself that he needs time to charge it. You know what I mean? And Gaara's not going to let this man just fucking charge a fucking jutsu that could cause some serious damage. I mean, Gaara's not an idiot, So he's going to still be pressuring him with his sand, you name it. Basically what it would really, in my opinion, how it would go is Sasuke's, going to be using his speed, kind of fucking up Gaara, you name it. Gaara's going to be getting pressure because he's having to use the armor sand, which does take a crazy amount of chakra, so that's not good. And if we're really being honest, it's kind of like a chess game at that point. It's not going to be smart for Gaara to keep relying on the armor sand because eventually it's basically whoever tires out, if that makes sense, And it is stated that requires a shit ton amount of chakra, okay? And it's not effective strategy wise, you know what I mean? So if anything, if Sasuke continues to use that speed and try to and put pressure and kind of fuck up Gaara with just taijutsu alone, Gaara's going to have to still do that ball move, regardless if he decides to transform or not. He can still do the ball move to just kind of give him like space, you know what I mean, in time. And then from there, maybe strategize and plan how to defeat him. Because it's either that or he loses. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, if you really watch and analyze that fight, Sasuke was fine with him using that speed, and he was just beating his ass. You know what I mean? He wasn't tired. He wasn't huffing and puffing. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting fatigued. You know, like he was doing just fine. And at that point, Sasuke could have easily just kept giving him the hands. And if anything, whoever's going to be outlasted would be it would be Sasuke to win that battle, because Gaara's having to continue to use a shit ton of amount of chakra for the armor sand to protect himself. While Sasuke's not using chakra, he wasn't even using the Sharingan, you know. So and he's just beating his ass. So I don't know. Like it kind of gets to the point where Gaara's gonna have to figure out something. Otherwise, he straight up is just gonna get basically beat the fuck up. Like I'm not joking. That's literally how it would go. And then basically, if Gaara creates that space and does like that ball thing again or whatever, then at that point Sasuke is gonna try to do like his Chidori. But Gaara's not going to let him do his fucking Chidori. You know what I mean? Like, he's just going to fucking, start sending his sand and pressure, whatever, while he's in the ball. Like, he could still use his attacks if he's in the ball. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? So it's just going to be to the point where it's like, whoever gets hit first, if that makes sense. And then, unless Sasuke is able to pull, like, a clutch moment where he could just, summon Chidori right on the spot, even though that doesn't happen in that fight, then Gaara gets hit and he gets defeated, or he can't use Chidori because he needs time, at least for the first time while he's using it. And then if Gaara lands any attack, Sasuke's fucked unless he's substituting or whatever, But it's going to be a really interesting fight. It could go either way, in my opinion. But I don't know. It's interesting. You know what I mean? It really is interesting. Whoever you think will really win. If I'm going narratively wise, and if I really had to pick one, I'd say Sasuke because of Chidori. And obviously not excluding Gaara's Tail Beast, because the moment his Tail Beast even activates and he starts using it, they're not going to let that happen. They're gonna stop the fight. That's not even fair. You know what I mean? Like, so like Naruto, it's a little different because he's basically controlling the power and taming it. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just going on a rampage and then So with Gaara, it would just be more of a rampage. He can't control that shit. So and they're not going to allow that. They would stop the fight. Gaara would lose, and it's that simple. And then if he keeps up his bullshit, then the Jonings or whatever, even though Kage would just subdue him, and that's it, So that's basically how I think that would go, in my opinion. But I'll let you guys kind of have your opinions and thoughts in the comments or whatever, and whatever. We'll just kind of keep it at that.
Gaara sees this. He's going to be weary, but I don't think he's going to think it'll cut through his sand.
What?
So Sasuke would run down the wall.
What's happening?
Go straight.
Oh shit! I was like, why would I hear any sound? And I just realized my controller died. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I see the video still playing. I'm like, did something happen with his video, or is it me?
It was shown.
Hang on, I can't even hear shit right now.
Pierce Sharingan and then use Chidori. So I think that if Gaara sees this, he's gonna be weary, but I don't think he's gonna think it'll cut through his sand. So Sasuke would run down the wall and go straight towards Gaara. And with the speed he's shown before, he'd be able to create an opening to basically penetrate Gaara. And even if Gaara's sand get in the way a little bit,
he's going through it. Yeah, he would go through it.
Could easily pierce through like inches and inches of Gaara's sand. So with Sasuke's hand sticking out of Gaara's back, the crowd would be amazed. And Gaara would freak out for seeing his blood the first time. And then Sasuke would probably take his arm out and then back away to create some distance from Gaara. And I don't know if Gaara would still be able to attack, but he might rampage a little bit, but he's just going to have so much blood loss that they're going to call the match and send him to the infirmary. So that's going to give Sasuke the win.
Yeah, either that, or if he starts going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, they're stopping the fight. Because once again, that's a disqualify. Kind of similar like with Sasuke, if he were to utilize the curse mark, that's not fair for them. You know what I mean? That's not his power,
Be pretty mentally scarred. Moving on to Shikabaru versus Tamari, I think it would also have the same result.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Shikamaru could have bluffed and made Tamari forfeit. I mean, she did have her fan kind of sticking up out of the ground. He could have banged her head on it. But whatever. The only reason he really lost was because he's just so dang lazy. But an interesting fact, actually, is that the writer said that he originally planned for the tuning exams to go all the way, and then Orochimaru would attack, and he would have picked Shikamaru to win. And that's kind of insane to me, because he would have had to beat, like, either Shino, Kankuro, or Sasuke or Naruto, which is crazy. Or even Gaara. But I think this would make that joke, Shikamaru with
Oh my
prep time,
god.
even more ridiculous. And the only thing we'd ever hear about Shikamaru is that he could beat Madara with prep time. Now on to Shino versus Kankuro.
I want to go
We've
that
seen
far.
this fight before, and it happened when the same.
Like, don't get me wrong, prep time's a big deal, and Shikamaru is no fucking joke. He's crazy, smart, intelligent, you name it. Like, man's able to pull out a lot of W's and with crazy circumstances, you know, basically without prep, you know what I mean? But no, Madara, hell no. Madara scales way over that motherfucker. Madara would just instant kill him. Like, instant.
And finally attacked the leaf.
Even with prep, okay, he ain't beating Madara. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, even when Madara is even pushed to the point where he is basically being cornered or fucked or whatever, he always triumphs over it every time. You know what I mean? And if he is able to respond with full power and go immediately into the perfect Susanoo, what the fuck did you know what I mean? Like, no. Even if there's prep time Shikamaru versus Madara would still win that shit. I'm sorry. It's just there's no way.
A double knockout almost. They both poisoned each other basically. But I think it would actually be different, and there would be a winner. And I think it would be similar to how Shino won in the prelims. Between the fights, Shino would just stuff bugs in Kankuro's puppet. And basically the fight would start, and then Kankuro would just be swarmed by bugs, if we're being honest. It's a pretty crappy way to lose, but I don't see any reason why Shino wouldn't just do that like he did in his last fight. So round 1 is over, and we've got our first fight for round 2. And this would actually be the first Naruto versus Sasuke in the series. Before I start analyzing this, I'll say that Naruto would probably gain access back to his chakra points, because after his fight with Neji, where he got his chakra points cut off, he was able to gain it back for his fight versus Gaara. So here we are with the classic question, Naruto versus Sasuke. And I'll say the answer is Sasuke, but Naruto puts up a great fight. Now this topic is probably as controversial as something like a...
Okay, so basically he said if Sasuke went to fight Naruto and it proceeded to that point, which I don't see why it wouldn't, okay? It would have if it kept going. I don't know, bro. Like, Sasuke only has 2 Shidoris. You know what I mean? That's all he can use, while Naruto has crazy stamina and chakra, all the shadow clones, you know what I mean? Naruto then has access to the Kyuubi chakra. You know, he also can be able to summon Gambunta. Like, it can go either way. Sasuke is no fucking joke, which that's not a problem. I don't have any issue with Sasuke being able to beat Naruto or even Naruto being able to put up a fight. But, like, I don't know, man. With Naruto having the Kyuubi chakra and on top of it also fucking, you know, Gambunta, like, I just don't see Sasuke pulling it. You know what I mean? Like, it was not only narratively, but with feats alone, heavily implied that Naruto was scaling over Sasuke during that arc. Especially when Sasuke was fighting Gaara and then Naruto fights Gaara instead. Like, Naruto was way more fucking powerful than Sasuke. Way more. You know what I mean? If Naruto is even replicating that 2,000 fucking shadow clone feat, no. Sasuke can't do nothing to that. You know what I mean? If he summons Gambunta, it's a GG. If Naruto does, you know, crazy reserve of, you know, the Kyuubi chakra like he did against Neji, you could argue he could more likely fucking speed blitz Sasuke and teleport and fuck him up. Or better yet, Sasuke's going to charge out his Chidori while Naruto charges, you know, his Kyuubi chakra. And obviously, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, if Naruto's just using his body to punch or a kunai or whatever at his Chidori, Sasuke's going right through that shit. You know what I mean? But it'll probably cause a huge explosion as well. But, you know what I mean? Naruto's smart. He uses shadow clones, you name it. And basically, that whole explosion would happen, where Sasuke would go through that shadow clone, you know what I mean? And then he'd be like, oh shit, it was a shadow clone. And then either it creates an opening, you know what I mean? And Naruto gets his ass. Like, I don't know. I feel like if Naruto plans it right and goes about it the right way, he can pull off a W. And it's most definitely a W if he's doing that shadow clone feat he did against Gaara or summoning Gambunta. It just, there's no way you're convincing me Sasuke takes that. It's just not. That's not happening. So, but that's my thought on it. I don't think it's a guaranteed W for Sasuke. It's fair and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like it does favor Naruto more. That's just me, though.
Abortion. But in this fight, Naruto's only chance is summoning 2,000 shadow clones, which he did against Gaara on the same day. However, the only reason he did this was because he was backed into a corner. And we've seen that when Naruto's life is on the line, or his friends, he's going to come in with the clutch. And you can really call it the Will of Fire. And I don't think in this fight Naruto would inherit the Will of Fire yet, like he did against Gaara, because his friends or himself would not be in danger. So I just don't think it's possible that Naruto...
It wouldn't even require the Will of Fire amp or to protect my friends and whatever loved ones type amp either. It could be a simple mental amp as him just wanting to beat Sasuke and prove once and for all that that he's better or just to be respected and acknowledged. That was a very big deal and a really big thing for Naruto throughout. You know what I mean? Always to have Sasuke's acknowledgement or approval or have him respect him, as an equal or whatever you name it. And with that determination, you know what I mean? And being also a motivation could easily induce a mental amp to him basically pulling the Shadow Clone feat or whatever the case, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? Easily. So it wouldn't necessarily have to require the Will of Fire amp or like to protect my friends type amp. It could just be as simple as, you're my rival, I want you to acknowledge me, I'm strong as well, bring it on, and I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to be Hokage, basically, type mental amp. That's simple. You know what I mean? Like, it's not crazy to say, there's plenty of narrative evidence for that, you name it, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So, that's just me, though.
Naruto would come out with 2,000 clones like he did against...
And then not only that, don't forget... when they fought on the rooftop, yes, I know obviously at that point Naruto has the Rising as well, but besides that, just with him summoning all those fucking shadow clones, he was actually beating up Sasuke. He was washing his ass up. And then Sasuke gets launched into the air, and then he does like his fire style to kind of like deal with the shadow clones, but it doesn't because Naruto just does like a Rising Dawn, and like it kind of makes the fire go away, which is, weird because fire would make... if I'm being like, I don't know, unless I'm capping, fire makes wind stronger. You know what I mean? So if anything, fire is supposed to beat wind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Anyway, I know obviously wind will beat lightning. That I know for a fact. But either way, he does Rising Dawn. The fire kind of goes away, whatever, and basically. That's when they're about to have their Chidori and Rising Dawn clash for the first time. It doesn't happen because Kakashi gets there. So, I don't know. Like, with enough Shadow Clones, you name it. Or better yet, if Naruto's also doing Shadow Clones with Kyuubi Chakra, like, I don't know, man. I really feel like Naruto's taking that W. But that's just me.
Sorry. But I do think he would summon a buttload like he did against Sasuke on the hospital roof.
Yeah.
However, we saw in this fight, Sasuke was able to deal with these clones like light work. Like, he was just effortless taking out, like, tens and
he was taking him out, but then he gets beat up.
I would say that after that, this version of Naruto doesn't have enough going for him to beat Sasuke, because Sasuke's just gonna school him in taijutsu, and
that's not correct. Fire style didn't counter the clones. The clones could easily be able to jump out of the way and move, and he literally did his fire style and was gonna do that to fuck up the clones, but then literally Naruto just did Rising Dawn and it took care of that, and all his clones are still there. You know what I mean? So even obviously he doesn't have Rising Dawn at this point, so all he would have to do is either just give all his clones Kyuubi Chakra, which isn't really that crazy to do. He kind of did it against Shikabaru as well. Or he could simply just have the Shadow Clones move out of the way. Or better yet, even if the Shadow Clones kind of get dealt with, he could just summon them back again. And Sasuke has to be really careful with his chakra and everything and the stamina because... his Chidori is like his main get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? He only has 2 shots. And if he's over here spamming fire style and all that, to deal with Shadow Clones and shit, Naruto's definitely going to be beating him when it comes to the stamina and you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to the stamina and chakras, throwdown. Like, Naruto's going to be able to keep doing Shadow Clones while Sasuke's just going to be exhausted himself having to do more fire styles. And then guess what? He either just doesn't have enough chakra to do Chidori now, and he's kind of fucked. So he has to be careful especially if he wants to utilize Chidori. So I don't know. That's just me. I do think the Shadow Clone is going to be pretty fucking tough for Sasuke. That's just me. I feel like it's just evidently shown, especially what we saw with Gaara and also even on the rooftop. And then not only that, it was also shown many times that Naruto's stamina is way better than Sasuke. They both have crazy large chakra pools, but Naruto does have better stamina. And then also, once again, with the Kyuubi chakra or even Gambunta, you name it, like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like there's more going for Naruto. Sasuke will put up a good fight. He'll fight, you name it, fire style. Try to do Chidori once, whatever. Maybe get one last Chidori, especially if Naruto's in that Kyuubi form that he did against Neji, and they kind of do like that final throw, just like what happened with Neji, But either way, like, I don't know. It's either, even if it comes to that, I could still see Naruto pulling a W. And keep on pressing Sasuke with his clones or trying to fight back, or better yet, if Naruto summons Gambunta, it's GG, I don't know, like, it can happen. It can happen. If it can happen against Neji, you know what I mean, there's no way you're not going to tell me it can't happen against Sasuke, so I'm just saying.
Naruto can definitely take a beating, but everyone has their limit, and Sasuke would find it. And also, I don't think Sasuke would have to use his second Chidori of the day against Naruto, because he'd want to reserve chakra, and this means he would have one Chidori left for the onto Shino versus Tamari, which is an intriguing matchup to say the least. Now, I think that Shino would try to use Shikamaru's strategy against Tamari and immediately retreat to the trees to get cover and think of a long-range attack. However, this time, Tamari would learn to cut down the trees with her fan to get rid of Shino's cover, because she would learn from her mistake against Shikamaru, and I don't think she wants to be embarrassed like that again.
Well, to be fair, if she could have done that, she should have done that on Shikamaru, but she couldn't. I don't think she can. I think she was only able to do that during the Sasuke retrieval arc because she had like that fucking summoning thing. That kind of enhanced her wind style attacks. So I don't know about all that, but if that is a thing, then yeah. But I'm pretty sure if she could do that, she would have did that against Shikamaru, which would have prevented him to be able to plan and formulate a plan, and strategy.
Also, I don't think Shino would be able to just bug bomb Tamari like he did in those last two matchups, because I don't really see any place he could hide them.
I still feel like Tamari's gonna win it, but the whole tree thing, I don't know about all that, And if he's using the trees, he can be able to use his bugs to fight, and then it just comes to a point of whoever can outlast whoever, But if Shino doesn't have any cover and it's in the open, he's kind of fucked. Like, the wind style is just going to blow away the bugs, and and it's just going to fuck him up,
I don't think they'd really get into her fan, but I could be wrong on that. And the only thing he could...
That is a possibility, too, though. The bugs could kind of fuck with the fan, maybe, or something. I don't know, but I don't know.
Do is place a female...
I think Tamari's taking it.
He did on Conqueror. He could place on Tamari, and this would attract his male bugs, which would be pretty dangerous for Tamari. And he could easily do this, like, if they shake hands before the fight, or he could send them...
Imagine! That's such a ratty snake fucking W to do.
I'm going to take Tamari, because she's not going to give Shino the chance to have any breathing room like Shikamaru did in their fight against her. And when Tamari tears up all of Shino's cover, he's kind of exposed, and his bugs aren't going to be able to withstand a wind attack either with him. So Tamari would basically use a bunch of wind attacks and eventually hit Shino enough.
I do agree, though. I do agree that Tamari would more than likely win. Could Shino pull it off? Maybe. He's pretty strong, but...
Tamari. Now, Sasuke only has one Chidori here, but it's not going to matter because Sasuke's just going to wipe the floor with her anyway.
Yeah.
Props to Tamari.
They literally fought in the anime, and Sasuke was holding back and trying to conserve his chakra, and he beat her without Chidori. I don't even think he used a Sharingan, and he beat her. So,
her being the only other Genin than Sasuke to be able to use a chakra nature, which is wind style, and she's definitely pretty good ninja. But Sasuke's superiority in speed and taijutsu easily gives him the matchup, because I don't see Tamari's attacks here hitting Sasuke at all. He's just way too fast, as he showed against his fight against Gaara. And he would just blitz her and eventually defeat her in hand-to-hand combat.
One thing I will say, I don't think it would be a blitz until he does Chidori. But, like, when he does fight her in the anime, I don't think it's shown in the manga, but he fights her in the anime, and she's able to put up a fight, like, able to hold off her own. Now, do keep in mind, he's holding back, he's trying to conserve chakra because, his end game is to fight Gaara, you know what I mean? But then eventually he is forced to use Fire Style against Tamari and use a fucking substitution jutsu, and then he's able to beat her. But she did pretty well against him, so we actually got to see them kind of go at it. It wouldn't just be an instantaneously speed blitz. She was able to react to him. She was able to fight back, you name it. So that's just me, but, it is what it is. Now, but the moment he's whipping out, like, fucking Chidori and all that, you name it, like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, she's not doing shit. She's getting fucked. You know what I mean? But she probably would concede at that moment, I could even see him win without Chidori, if I'm being honest with you. Just with his intelligence, and his kunines and, the lines, fire style, you name it. I don't see it being, like, out of this world for him to still pull a W without it. But if he does Chidori, she's fucked,
So your champion is Sasuke, and his superiority complex is not damaged yet. On to who becomes CHUNIN after this. I would say Sasuke gets appointed a CHUNIN because we saw when the fight started and Sasuke was questioning what was going on, the proctor said that he's already CHUNIN level, and we all know that he's Jonin level at this point. And also I think that the
Jonin level
would be appointed a CHUNIN.
Relax. Sasuke is not fucking Jonin level. That's shown over and over with Kakashi and Guy, and even the other elite Jonins that fucking fought against, like, it was like two Jonins that fought against 4 Sound Ninja and forced them to go into CM2. Forced them to go into CM2 in order to win. There's no way you're telling me fucking Sasuke is Jonin level. Get the fuck out of here with all that. That's a little ridiculous. Like, come on. CHUNIN, that's fine, but he's not fucking Jonin.
That's what seems to happen originally anyway, because by part 2, which is 3 years later, Gaara is the Kazekage, and his brother and sister are Jonin. Neji has less of a chance, because he lost in the first round in Naruto, and also didn't really show good leadership qualities, was overall pretty bitter. So even though he's super strong, obviously, I'm not sure if they'd promote him CHUNIN. And for Naruto, maybe. He definitely showed some grit. And also Shino, perhaps, because he easily defeated his first 2 opponents. So it's really up in the air if those 3 get promoted. And I think that's where I'm going to stop in this alternate timeline.
That's fair.
Also, I think Sasuke would not defect, at least as soon, and he wouldn't have a curse mark, which changes the story.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you're interested in more content for this channel. And,
oh my god, what kind of face is that?
Comments down below. If you disagree with anything in this video, also say so. If you have any video ideas,
Alright, not too bad. It was a really good video. Wasn't a bad video or anything. Obviously there was disagreements here and there, but it's a pretty good video. Not gonna lie, if you guys don't know who he is, check him out. It's about almost 15,000 subscribers. He's doing his thing, makes Naruto content. He's a really good YouTuber. I've seen other videos just from like past tense. And then I was like, I might as well just start doing some reactions to his channel and whatnot, because, it's Naruto content, why not? I always love hearing other people's opinions and their rankings, scaling, you name it. And as long as they're not pulling some ratty-ass nonsense or pulling the fucking noodles, and it's fine. 9 out of 10, we're having a good time, good vibes, Naruto, Naruto happiness, you name it, right? The passion, love, and everything. So, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Obviously, if it really came down to it, I think it's either Naruto or Sasuke that's going to be there in the end. That's just my opinion. If it really came down to it and I had to choose, I'd say more than likely Naruto. That's just me, though. But, either way, you guys let me know what you think. Who would actually have won if it really came down to it. What I also think would have been a really cool, interesting topic of, like, Neji versus Sasuke. I think that's pretty cool to even think about and whatnot. But I'm not even going to get into that and everything. But I do think it would be a cool fight, though. Just why not? That'd always been cool to see. But either way, yeah, if it really came down to it, for the most part, it's either Naruto or Sasuke. That's it. That's just me. But anyways, so we'll kind of leave it there, though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you didn't, whatever, sorry. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of this video, my thoughts, everything. Subscribe for more content. Subscribe if you guys love the channel. And if you're a Naruto fan, especially for that, there'll be plenty more Naruto content along the way, whether if it's my videos, reactions, or better yet, maybe even just watching some anime episodes. Which, quick reminder, if you guys don't know, I am going to be starting to watch Boruto soon. So that's going to either be not fun or it will be fun. I don't know. What's it called? Eventually I will, continue to watch Naruto episodes and then watch Naruto Shippuden one more time and kind of have all those reaction videos for you guys. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be putting them on my YouTube. So this is going to kind of be a strategy in order for me to kind of get the same following base that I have for YouTube onto my Twitch channel. If you guys don't know, I do stream, I play games, that's where I record most of my content anyways. Sometimes I could do recordings of my own, but 9 to 10 it's actually being shown on my Twitch first. So if you guys didn't know that, but if you don't want to have to go that route, I know you guys are busy, you have your own lives. Obviously, you could always just check out my content on YouTube. That's the whole reason why I have my YouTube as well, either to have separate content and do my own recordings separate from my streams, or, if you guys aren't able to watch my streams and you're busy or whatever the case, at least you can be able to see what you did miss and I'll post it on YouTube, which I basically have always done. So no matter what, you guys will be able to see the content. But at least for the anime episode reactions, and this could be for anything. This can be for any anime. This can be for Hero Academia. This could be for Attack on Titan. You fucking name it. You guys, I'm going to drop a video of actually asking for some requests of what animes you guys to recommend to actually start watching. The only anime I recommend to not recommend it as of now, I've already seen Bleach, so don't worry about that. What's it called? But other than that, any other anime, by all means, let me know. What do you guys list some good animes out there for me to look at and watch? I have seen 2 or 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. I haven't seen the rest that all came out, but I do need to finish that. So I will eventually watch that as well. But either way, let me know what you guys, if you want to put in the comments, you can as well with that. But I will release a separate video for that, for just some anime recommendations. This way I have, some recommendations from you guys. But either way, what I was basically getting at is I'm going to start, doing some reaction videos to anime, okay? And I'm going to start it with Boruto. And I'm going to be posting it on my Twitch. So I'm going to be streaming, going live on my Twitch, reacting to episodes, you name it, and then I'm going to basically create highlights for each episode that I react to, and this way you guys, can be able to just pick which one you want me to react to instead of having to watch like the whole fucking stream or whatever, so I will have it organized and categorized for you, or better yet, if you just want to watch the whole fucking stream of me watching some episodes and doing other things, by all means, whatever, but when it comes to posting on YouTube, the reason why it's an issue, I'm just going to keep this very short and sweet, I don't want to waste you guys' time, is unfortunately due to copyright and everything, YouTube is a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fight. I'm telling you that right now. Like, it's either 9 times out of 10 I get hit with copyrights, or either my video gets fully blocked, or better yet, I have to appeal or dispute. And whenever you go that process, 9 times out of 10, like the people that are making, the issue, whatever, with Naruto, because like it gets basically pinged in the YouTube system, right? And then I'll dispute it, right? Then the people that are in charge with the copyright stuff or whatever for Naruto, they're like, nah, fuck you, that's not fair use. Even though there's fucking millions of other, or thousands of other YouTubers that have the same shit posted on their channel, and you name it. Nah, hell no, that's not fair use. There's no way. That video is not transformed or different, and, you know what I mean? Oh, he's stealing our stuff. He's trying to say Naruto's his, That type of bullshit. So then they reject it, right? So then YouTube's like, oh, sorry, can't, still the same thing. And then I'll have to appeal it, okay? And then to appeal it, like, then they review again. And if it's still a no, then guess what? I get a fucking strike for that, okay? So then I have a strike on my channel. And then now I'm basically risking my channel basically being permanently, getting rid of or whatever. And then having to start all over from scratch. Like, that would be horrible to fucking deal with. You know what I mean? Like, not only would it would potentially require even for me to go legally into it and go to court and actually fight and you name it, which dead ass I would go to that extent. Like, don't fuck with me, I'm not the one. Okay, I don't give a fuck how much money or how much debt I would end up. I will go to, like, no matter what. Like, I don't play games, you know. And so, like, it's to the point where, you know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass process, guys. Okay, it would literally take 14 days. I kid you not, 14 days for me to release 8-episode reaction. I kid you not. So instead of you guys having to wait 14 days per episode and for me to risk losing my channel or also obtaining strikes and then having to submit counter notifications to have those strikes taken away because I was legally protected under fair use, etc., and just going through that whole bullshit nonsense that is, to this day, I've even made separate videos on, YouTube needs to figure it the fuck out, okay? Because it's bullshit. It's not okay, you know? Like, into any reaction anime YouTubers out there, I don't know how the fuck you do it, but I know damn well they be probably suffering and going through the same BS too. So, either way, this way you guys can at least enjoy my reactions and can be able to see it. I will post it on my Twitch. I'll create highlights. This way it'll be for each episode that I react to. And this way you guys get to at least just enjoy that. You know what I mean? If there's ever like a really hardcore, awesome, epic episode, I might actually send that on YouTube, and I won't mind going through the process, you know, to have it uploaded on my channel. But to do every single fucking episode of any anime, it's not worth it, guys. I'd rather post that on my Twitch, you know what I mean, on my channel for streaming. This way you guys can watch those 20-minute long, you know, videos on my Twitch instead. All you have to do is just go to my profile, go to highlights, same shit as if you're going to a YouTube channel to look for videos or whatever, and just click it, bam, you can see my reaction to the episode. That's simple, you know what I mean? Or better yet, if I'm able to, because I don't even know how all this works, if I'm able to create my own website and just post, you know, my video reactions there instead, then maybe I can do that as well. But I have Twitch, it's there for a reason, I might as well utilize it, and it's kind of a win-win for me, this way to kind of build up a larger fan base on my Twitch as well, you know, to kind of expose that a lot more for you guys. And this way, if you do want to see anime reaction videos, just go to my Twitch. It'll be posted on my highlights, you know what I mean? You know, or if you want to see it right when I'm recording and streaming, you can do that too, you know? So it's totally up to you guys, however you want to go about that. But I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up. There will be a video announcement for that topic again, but as of now, I'm just going to say it towards this outro, and we'll leave it at that. This video is already going to be as long as it is, so we're going to end it here. As always, peace, guys.